Good morning, everyone. My name is Tim. This is Tim's Perspective. This is my Mustang, and today we're about to find out if I'm doing some fun things because I want to, or if I'm fixing some things because I have to. Last night, I got some Christmas lights on my dash, and I've been told that they could go away, or they could be here to stay. So, let's start up the car and see what we have. So my plan for today was originally, I have a new tune. I have a new tuner, my Lund N-Gauge, and I have a new tune from Lund themselves that came in. But now I also have a little Christmas tree setup going on. So I'm gonna plug in the N-Gauge and see. I honestly have no clue if the N-Gauge is able to service the advanced track or not, but let's find out. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything in the N-Gauge yet, so that's fun. Hopefully we can start data logging the tune and see how things go. I am gonna have to basically figure out the tune with or without my ABS and traction control, but thankfully, it do be like that sometimes. So let's go ahead and get to work. All right, first order of business is obviously popping the hood. Things are a little bit dirty, but we'll also probably clean that up along the way. We're gonna have to take this hood bar off, pop this off, take the fuel rails off. I'm also gonna take this off and install a catch can. And then we're gonna go ahead, load up the tune, and get things moving. Excuse the mess. I know I need to clean this. Now the hood cover, this part's hard. Let's see if I can manage. Oh, we did it, boys. Holy crap, this thing is dirty. We'll fix that. And now I've heard pretty much everything on this is gonna be good old 10mm. Of course, my 10mm is different from my mess of a socket set because I lost it. So, that being said, let's start taking things off. Now, the first thing I'm doing is basically loosening these coolant lines so I can get them out of the way. I f***ed up. I done forgot something. Okay, so what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to pull your fuel pump fuse so that you can crank no start and you can get everything, get all the fuel out the system. So, we're gonna do that real quick. And that's gonna be this fuse right here. Okay, well, that should be enough to get the worst of the worst out of it. Now let's pop that fuse back in and pull the battery first. Fun part about working on camera, you get to see exactly how little I know about literally all of this. So we're loose, this is loose, and that's the one. Where did I put my ratchet? There it is. Y'all get to see how much of a mess I am when I work on cars. Because ADHD is wonderful. Ah, that's how. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, got my insulation for the right side. Ah, they mark it. That's very clever. Much appreciated, Ford. What's in the way? Everything. What's it in the way of? Everything else. Okay. That's how you know it's real. The jacket's coming off, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. I'm gonna take off the hat to take the rest of these off because I don't really fit with that on top of my head. So my apologies. And I already have some extra towels in here, thankfully, that the shipper included when they sent me my injectors. So, gonna go ahead and put those right on down here to catch whatever fuel's gonna inevitably fall everywhere. Let's try the small boys. They seem like they'd be the most ideal, to be honest. There we go. Oh, that's a... Oh, that's not too bad. A little bit of gas, but really not. Okay, let me go ahead and do this while it's on a towel. Sorry, I know the sun is probably making this lighting just absolutely horrid, so my apologies. Really can't control the sun. And so that really was just 12 bolts to get. I think that's everything. Let's see. Ah, there we go. Some progress. Pop some of these. Go. Injectors are out. Now let's see how much fuel is about to pour out of there. Good old 91 octane. I'm waiting for the sound. I want to hear a satisfying pop. Oh no, I just sprayed fuel all over myself instead. How lovely. I'll link the tutorial I'm following in the description, but basically, guy mentions the pressure, at least in theory, is going to be the most on that first injector. It's still not all that light, and I'm still covered in gasoline, so that's dope. Go, that makes my life a little easier. Now let's get you around the coolant lines. That'll make my life a little easier. Ah, the fuel line's making my life harder. That's fun. Coolant line. Let's line this side up. Lined up. Now it's just tightening, buttoning and tightening everything back up. Boom, JLT catch can. Really hoping I don't have any issues because I am trying to somewhat button things back up before I start it. But my GoPro did die, but I buttoned pretty much everything up. Just have to put the strut tower and the engine cover on, which I did wash. But for that, I am gonna reconnect the battery, take the tune off of my SCT, then upload the tune from my N gauge, and then we can hopefully to God start the car. All right, it is the next day, but we're gonna talk about what happened and what's coming next. As you can see here, I actually did mount my N gauge right here into the vent. I bought a mount that didn't fit, and I ended up just wrapping 3M tape around the edge here and kind of just shoehorning it in. It's not the best solution, but it'll work for now. And then I did manage to get my tune on here. I messed up and I forgot to tell Lund that it was a locked tuner. So I accidentally tried to load up the tune and it said wrong car. I emailed them, and in literally like 5 or 10 minutes, they had an unlock sent my way and everything was set. So their customer service so far has been amazing. After that, I did do a data log sesh. They sent me another revision to the tune. I did a second data log, and I already, in about an hour between each of those, had a fresh tune reset, perfectly tuned for my car. And now I'm about to go drive it, and let's see how it looks, sounds, feels, and everything else. I really do like about the N gauge is that it mounts very nicely in the car compared to the SCT. So you can monitor things without it being, no offense to SCT, a super hideous package. For this, I did have the SCT X3 with the basic quote-unquote strategy tune. So it's just kind of a preset tune. I noticed it was running super rich when I took my cats off, which makes sense because they're not trying to blow your car up. But it does mean you don't get perfect performance, just not a perfect tune. This tune from Lund is perfectly set for my car. They use my data logging, and they basically try to do everything they can to get the car to perform the very best it can. Now, one thing for me, since I do run an off-road X-Pipe, is I was curious how it was going to sound for things like pops, bangs, crackles, things like that. And I have noticed it actually is a decent amount more on the car now than it was before, even though it's not running as rich. So it basically means that they're tuning the car better, and I get a better sound. Sorry, that was just necessary. So overall, how do I feel about this? I am very happy that I chose Lund for my tune. A couple of things I would mention is I looked for and found my tuner used, because Lund will unlock your N gauge if you get a tune with them, so do keep that in mind. That saves a good amount of the cost, because SCT will charge up the wall to marry your tuner. But I'm super happy with it. As you can hear, my car full of E85 just for safety purposes, and we're gonna go ahead and do that pretty soon. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna go ahead and end it here, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Adios.